18, pop us an email on kidsquestions@wildearth.tv or register on the WildEarth website. Head over to the channel page and submit those questions there. Myself, Liam, and Steve are looking forward to hearing from you this morning. I don't know what is going on with this mist, but it seems to be causing the marula trees to be raining leaves at this point. It's a very unusual weather day today. Craig, I can't believe how thick this mist is. When we woke up, there was no mist at all. And now all of a sudden, we can't see past 20 meters. It is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I think it's going to be a good day if this is any indication. We can't see impalas that are less than 40 meters away from us. It's going to be a fantastic morning. I think we're going to have a lot of surprises today, if this is any indication. We have got another vehicle coming to join us to look for those hyenas. They went past the hyena den, and there was nobody home. So they are looking for June and Novella since we had them this morning. But looking at such a misty scene, let's have a look at what the weather's doing for today, and then we can try and find those hyenas for you.
My name is Liam Burrow, and after about a 6 or 8 week absence, I'm very, very happy to be back here with WildEarth TV. Not much of a sunny day this morning. We're actually dealing with pretty seriously misty conditions. Gert behind the lens is dealing. What an awesome way to start our day. Not quite gorillas in the mist, but what looks like a breeding herd of elephants. You could just see the vegetation kind of rippling and shaking there. Ellie's busy collecting a bit of foliage. My absolute favorite. I could sit with elephants all day. Oh, very obligingly popping out into the road. Yeah, so doing what elephants do absolutely best, and that is feeding. That'll occupy about 80% of their time. The pursuit of enough vegetation to sustain themselves. Probably about 20 hours a day spent collecting food. A tiny little calf popping out into the road as well. A little obscured there. Yeah, we'll give them a little bit of room, just kind of suss out what they're actually up to this morning, and then try and change the view up a little bit. Arguably the most structured family unit in nature. A society all built around females with long-lasting relationships. Interesting to think that if a female gives birth to her first calf when she's perhaps around the age of about 15, and that calf is born a female, calf will be stood by mother's side when she passes away in her 50s. So their relationships last for decades. Yeah, something to keep in mind the next time you're looking at an elephant kept in captivity, in particular an elephant kept alone. That's a terrible, terrible situation for that animal to be in. They belong in the wild, mingling with other ellies. Sam, good morning, and thank you very much for your question. And a fabulous question it is. Elephants are highly, highly adaptable animals, and we see a wide range of behavior for the purpose of survival. It's very much based kind of on the season that we're in. This time of the year, sort of late summer, food and water, so basic resources are fairly plentiful in all directions. So Ellies don't really have to walk too far or put in really all that much effort to get what they need to survive. But in the dry season, there's that little calf popping out again. In the dry season, it's quite a different situation. So we're kind of gripped by only really two major seasons out here in this African bush. Our summers, which are very hot and wet, our winters, which are very cool and dry. Elephants at that time of the year, during the dry season, really battle to find food, so they've got to walk much, much, much further. When they do get to something like a very tall acacia tree, where the foliage that is palatable is only quite high up. In some areas, elephants have even adapted to rise up onto their hind legs. I'm thinking of a national park in Zimbabwe called Mana Pools in particular. Now we're just going to pull forward a little bit here. Our ellies have sort of popped out of view. Elephant in this area will also dig for water, which is quite amazing. So with a phenomenal sense of smell, phenomenal sense of smell, they can actually smell water up to 3 foot below the surface, and they will dig into the sand. Now, again, quite uniquely, certain populations of elephants in certain areas will kind of adapt and evolve fairly unique behaviors based on their circumstances. So Gert and I are going to continue to hang out with our breeding herd of elephants, see what they're actually up to this morning, perhaps even heading for a drink at Djuma Dam. But for the moment, while we sort of keep ourselves busy with that, we're going to hand over to Steve in Pridelands, a little bit further north of us, to say good morning to him and see what he's up to.
Here in Eco Training Pridelands, where it is a glorious day. And well, our hard work yesterday paid off for others, as we were able to give the right information with regards to where the lions were potentially, and they popped out of that block just after we went home, and they were found. We've now found their tracks again, and we're following the tracks into Pridelands. Unfortunately, they are heading east. East is not always a good place for us signal-wise, but we're going to see what we can do. Hello, everyone. My name is Steve. I'm joined by Camera. We're very excited to have you with us. I hope you are as excited as we are as we delve down into the wild places here on Pridelands. Eco Training Pridelands coming to you from the greater Kruger National Park, adjoined to WildEarth Private Game Reserve to the north. Big thunderstorms in the Highveld and down south yesterday. On our way home, we could see it. And this area over here is called Impala Plains. I wonder where they came up with that name. Nice open area, lots of thorn bushes. June, I love the morning sunrise myself. It is probably my favorite time of the day to be up nice and early, and it is going to be a hot one today. I can feel it already. The jacket is coming off, and it is not even, I don't even know what the time is, but it is still early, and already the sun is beating down. We're just going to navigate around this open clearing and see if we can find where the tracks have come out. Like quarantine, this area would serve as a very similar sort of refuge for impala. And the lion pride would emerge out here thinking they could hunt impala at night. And it's definitely something that they've tried to do. We see it in Djuma all the time. The lions moving into quarantine as open areas and hunting, and they've been successful many times. But also when there is a bit of moon, like there is at the moment, it'd be quite tricky to catch impalas that are very vigilant, but they would be looking for the rutting male impalas that are making lots and lots of noise. So I'm just checking tracks as well. See if they went south here. Maybe they went straight across the block east. Let's see if we can find them.
For those of you who love an adventure, we have some exciting news. A few places have become available for our Djuma expeditions this year.
We're here for about 5 days and we're having the most amazing time.
Well, I must tell you, the stampede at the dam camp today was fantastic. We're having a fabulous time and it's really been magnificent so far. Thank you.
To come with somebody with Tristan's knowledge was just an extra bonus.
Hosted by some of our best WildEarth guides, these expeditions offer an intimate group experience where you can watch the Safari Live crew in action and enjoy nature at its best.
Africa is beautiful and has stolen my heart, and I hope to come back for many trips.
If you are interested, hurry over to our website for more details. WildEarth Expeditions. Travel with purpose. Our Western Cape coastline is graced with the Cape fur seal. This playful species is curious and entertaining. At Hout Bay Seal Rescue Centre, seals in need are rescued, fed and nursed back to health by our well-trained team of dedicated staff and volunteers. This wonderful legacy of the centre is continued as these protected creatures are rehabilitated and released back into the wild.
This is just incredible. I've never seen a rock monitor versus a leopard before. Now, unfortunately, this monitor does not stand a chance. Oh, look at this. This is super exciting. Did you see that? Did you see how it used its tail? And you can see this leopard has had enough now.
With the traditional stories I've learned that it does have future and a past. If you follow it, you will never ever go wrong in life. It's very important because it contains, of course, history background and the knowledge of the bush. In every family they have so-called a tree or amarula tree. We'll go there and kneel down and talk to the tree and say, we want success in the family.
We're back with our breeding group of elephants here in the Sabi Sands. They seem to be stood still for a minute, but kind of constantly moving. All in the pursuit of food, if you can make them out in the mist there. I was just saying to Gert, I've just returned from the Kalahari, where I spent about 6 weeks guiding for a lodge out there. I really love the Kalahari. It's an incredible part of the world. But one thing for me that it lacks in a big way is the elephant. Much too dry to really host much of a population out there. It's more known for kind of desert-adapted species. You do find elephant in dry-ish places, desert-adapted elephant in places like the Namib Desert. But these savanna elephant are much too reliant on water to make a living out there. Yeah, if you want to see elephants on safari, the Lowveld region of South Africa, in particular the greater Kruger National Park, is a phenomenal place to find them. Haley, a great question. You've asked what skills are elephant calves kind of naturally born with? Early youngsters are quite interesting in that they're born obviously with some instincts, certain instincts for survival, but in many ways a young elephant is very similar to a human child in that it needs to be taught a lot of the behaviors that it needs to survive in this environment. So young elephants will learn a lot of what they need for adult life from adult elephants. So the cows are constantly teaching them where to dig for the right roots at certain times of the year, which trees are in fruit, the best places to drink, the best places to bath, safe places to rest, and arguably towards the end of their lives, perhaps even a safe place to pass away. You've also heard the expression, I'm certain an elephant never forgets. So, arguably, an elephant calf may only need to be shown one of those locations or a specific spot for a fruiting tree, something along those lines, perhaps even once as a youngster. It may not return with its family for 10 or 15 years, but it has that knowledge. One day when that young calf is leading a herd of her own, she may even return and share that information with her youngsters. So elephant society is an incredible knowledge system, knowledge passed down through generations. Yeah, we have great responsibility to protect wild spaces, the spaces in which elephants roam, to protect not only the habitat, but that kind of elephant culture, if I can put it that way. Protect that knowledge system so that the adults can continue to pass it down as they have done for hundreds of thousands of years. This mist really is quite phenomenal this morning. I think just very moist conditions. We've had a little bit of a drop in temperature this morning, so I think condensation low level, very, very, very dense mist. But yeah, hopefully as the morning kind of burns on a bit and the temperature lifts, this mist too is gonna burn off nicely for us. In the meantime, though, while Gert and I continue to suss out these wonderful elephants, we're going to be handing over to Tess in another misty corner of Djuma in the Sabi Sands this morning to see what she's up to.
Things hiding in the mist today. Thank you, Liam. I'm very jealous of elephants in the mist. But I'm happy that I started my morning on hyenas in the mist. I just wish I could find them again. It was 100% June and Novella, though, so it's good to have an update on them. And we have figured out why they have been in the area. When we first saw them, they were looking kind of north towards Galago Pan. Then they both shot off to the west. And there's lion tracks coming down Vuyotela access from Sandy Patch. They crossed in from Simambili, close to One-Eyed Pan. And tracks of some of them go north up Aubrey's Road. Tracks of two of them come down Vuyotela access and then cut north towards Galago Pan, and tracks of one come on the western side of Quarantine. So I think these lions have been moving around and hunting, and I love a little change of plans first thing in the morning. I was going to go past the hyena den straight away and go down towards Treehouse Dam, Twin Dams, looking for leopard tracks until we found lion tracks, because it looks like they've moved recently. And then when you put that puzzle piece together with June and Novella being very interested in something here, then it kind of makes sense as to why they would be around, and there are Djuma and Navella's tracks. So if we follow the tracks, we might find the lions somewhere there. So that is my plan right now. I can tell you that with this mist, we can feel it wetting everything. Our jackets are wet already, our faces are wet, so you might see Owen wipe the camera a few times. But it'll be so worth it if we can find lions in the mist and the hyenas again. I will be the happiest human today. So Tristan had tracks of one lioness here. Diane, it's definitely more difficult to find birds in this mist because we've got pretty much a 20-meter visibility in all directions. So it's tough to spot anything at all in this mist. I mean, looking out onto Quarantine, you can't really even see the next road, which I know I can walk to from here in a matter of 20 to 30 seconds, if that. So it's very tough to spot things. In terms of tracking, our immediate visibility is pretty good. So I can see the road in front of me, I can see the road next to me, and so I can find tracks. The difficult part of it is that there's no direct sun. So when there's direct sun, it casts a shadow on the tracks. So it makes the tracks more noticeable to your eyes. So you have to concentrate a lot harder just to see the tracks in general on a misty day or on an overcast day. So that makes it a bit more challenging. Okay, no problem. Tracks cutting onto the Buffelshoek cut line. Perfect. But yes, that is the challenge on a morning like this. Sorry, I got temporarily distracted by the radio. The lions are somewhere on Buffelshoek cut line, according to a game viewer. So I'm going to go and have a look if I can find them there. There we go, they've just been found. Fantastic. I'm going to send you over to Liam to see what his elephants in the mist are up to while I make my way towards the cut line.
Yeah, thanks very much to Tess there, and we wish her luck on her elephant, or rather her lion mission this morning. It's turning into an extremely busy morning here on Djuma in the Sabi Sands. What a pleasure. And we are back with a marvelous group of elephant, a particularly large cow, a good 4-tonner, possibly even the matriarch, has ripped a large branch off of a buffalo thorn tree, a very, very thorny indigenous tree species with highly palatable leaves and bark, as you can see. She's chowing down with 2 of her calves quite close around her. The most recent just off on her right, our left, there. Again, learning from Mum, as I mentioned in a slightly earlier segment. A youngster needs to almost shadow a parent, in order to pick up critical information, essential skills that'll be passed down as learned behavior from the adult. And one day when that adult is not there, when that adult has passed away as life goes, that youngster will be passing that information down to its own young, if it's a female. Tiny little tusks there. This little one is, I'd say, maybe 3 or 4 years of age. Just a toddler. Much like a human toddler, very curious, very tactile. A colossal female in the center of the frame there. As I mentioned, about 4 tons. That's roughly average for an adult female African elephant. Yeah, she could be anywhere between about 30 and maybe even into her early 50s. Again, the matriarch of this group. Her role is to guide this family through this environment. Along well-used elephant pathways, paths she has walked along her entire life. Yeah, she's processing this bark and that nice branch with some serious relish. Obviously something highly palatable, something very tasty and digestible there. Tremendous.
My name is Amy Macmillan. I'm the owner and founder of Ellie and May and one of the directors of the Macmillan Conservation Fund. My brother Mike and I were incredibly close and both share a great passion for conservation, for wildlife, for nature, for elephants in particular. Tragically, Mike was killed in a car accident. It was through his passion and enthusiasm for conservation and for elephants that really prompted me to start Ellie and May. Ellie and May is a lifestyle apparel brand that contributes towards and raises awareness about elephant conservation. So a percentage of our sales of our caps and our products goes towards the Macmillan Conservation Fund. The aim of the Macmillan Conservation Fund is to support other conservation initiatives through anti-poaching, through the conservation of Africa's wildlife, community upliftment, development and education, and at the heart of it all, keeping Mike's legacy alive.
We have got an epic battle going on between a pirate fly and a drop-tail ant. Look at that, look at that. So what's happening is these ants are moving from one side to another, and these pirate flies are trying to steal the baby ants.
3 brothers named the Avoca males arrived in Djuma in 2018. This area had recently been vacated by the Birmingham boys. In 2019, they were seen mating with females from both prides and went on to sire cubs with them. The most recognizable lion in this coalition is Darkmane. Aside from the dark mane that gave him his name, he can be recognized by a distinctive limp.
Our little breeding group of elephant, Ellie's in the mist this morning, doing some serious rearrangement of the vegetation here on Djuma. In particular to this unfortunate buffalo thorn tree. Yeah, elephants serve a fairly vital role in this ecosystem in order to sort of keep the vegetation open enough for smaller species to pass through. But everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. If the population of elephant is kind of beyond critical mass, they can be extremely destructive. FC, I apologize. I had my radio a little bit turned down. Would you mind repeating Sarah's question there? I just caught the tail end of it. Sarah, good morning, and thank you very much for taking the time to submit a question to us this morning. We value everybody's questions, but in particular, it's always nice to chat to young people. It's cool that youngsters around the world are interested in nature. So a very good question. You've asked about the formation of mist this morning. So mist will come from supersaturated air, so air that has a very, very high content of moisture. It is essentially cloud that is very, very low to the ground. So as the air's temperature approaches dew point, so the point at which condensation occurs, the air becomes saturated with moisture, and that moisture becomes quite heavy. It settles low to the ground. We are essentially sat in a cloud that is sort of sitting right at treetop level. Yeah, any further drop in temperature, if the temperature was to decrease any further than where we are at the moment, maybe about 18 degrees Celsius, we may even have further condensation forming into isolated rainfall. I don't think that's going to happen, though, this morning. I think it's already starting to warm up nicely. We're going to be moving towards clear skies as the sun gets higher and higher into the sky. Yeah, mist is also a good indicator that there isn't a breath of wind. If there was any wind at all, this would blow off quite quickly. Oh, a great question. Thank you, Sarah. I did a pilot's license recently, within the last couple of months, completed a pilot's license. So focus on the weather is something I've got more and more used to. This would not be a good day for flying, not the kind of flying I like to do. There's something so relaxing about being sat with a family of elephant just going about their business. It's one of my favorite things to do. And as I said in an earlier segment, I've spent the last almost 2 months in the Kalahari, in a very dry region of South Africa's kind of northernmost province in the Northern Cape. One thing that area does not have is a population of elephant, and I miss them terribly. Yeah, they give me the same feeling that I get sort of sat watching a campfire, sat watching the ocean, looking up at a big mountain, something enormously powerful about spending time with them. They put me at ease. Still, not the time to let your guard completely down. Elephant have the potential to be dangerous, but in my experience with elephants in the Lowveld over the last 10 or 11 years as a guide, I found them to be extremely good communicators. So an elephant that is becoming upset, in my experience, will let you know. Waikisha, good morning, and a great question from yourself this morning. Thank you very much for that. You've asked, is elephant skin thicker than hippo skin? So, in certain places, elephant skin is paper thin, in particular the back of the ears, around the eyes, the opening of the trunk, paper thin. But then in places such as the elephant's back and certainly on its sides, it can be anywhere between 2.5 and close to 4 centimeters thick. Very, very, very tough and leathery. Still fairly sensitive, Much like the skin of a horse, I've seen a fly land on the side of an elephant and the skin twitch. So it, in spite of that thickness, is still highly, highly sensitive. The skin of a hippo is thick in places, but the dermis, the actual layer of skin, in many places is quite thin. The real thickness of it comes from a layer of blubber below the surface. Blubber fat, much like the fat on a whale. So, kind of to conclude that little mental thread, the elephant skin is much thicker over the whole. But thank you, Waikisha. We're going to be handing over to Tess in another minute or so to hear perhaps some of her thoughts on Ellie's this morning.
We have had success, everybody. Success. Lions in the mist on Buffelshoek Cutline, just to the east of Sydney's dam. It seems like everybody's very relaxed for now, but every now and then they do get up and start playing. So, I think, considering we have now had 2 of the big 5 in the mist this morning, I think it's going to be a fantastic day. Now, you will hear other vehicles and other people talking in the background. Of course, it is a lion sighting in the mist. Everybody wants to be here. So we have got other vehicles with us. In fact, Tristan and our explorers are here this morning, right next to us. But these 2 lions look to be cuddling at the moment. They've been grooming each other, and now they are lying down on top of each other. And we're not sure how many other lions are here. We cannot see any others. Just these 2 for now. Oh, there we go. So there are some, they're just all hiding in very, very, very long grass. It's amazing. From this side, we can only really see ears when they move. But you can imagine this grass is very long, and being misty, it makes visibility a little bit difficult. Good time for a scratch. I'm happy Owen has sharper eyes than I do this morning and can spot the others. I've had to take my glasses off because of the mist. I couldn't see through them anymore. Oh, wow. That looks very comfortable. But I am hoping the rest of the lions are going to get up and they're going to start moving just now. Cheetah lady, I'm so excited that we have lions. This makes it very worthwhile to be out here. Always. I mean, any sighting makes it worth it, but to have lions that are actually moving a little bit and in the mist, I mean, all we need now is for one of them to get up and my day will be made. Doesn't take much, it seems. But from their tracks, it seems like they kind of split up a lot and moved around. I don't know if they were looking for food. They must have been hunting, splitting up, and then they all came back together here on Buffelshoek Cutline. They did a bit of a loop through Djuma at different stages. Yet of lies, assume it would be part of the Nkuhumas, very possibly those with the sub-adults, just based on where we are, where the tracks came from. But, I mean, I could be absolutely wrong, of course. We haven't really had a clear view of a single lion yet. Hi, Tristan. So good to see the explorers having a fantastic time with the lions this morning. Bye, see you later. They are very excited to have lions. Oh, yay, 2 of them are starting to get up. Just under the tree. It's a bit of a tough view because there are vehicles around, but we are going to watch and see where this lioness decides to go as she's scratching a tree.
Here at WildEarth, we have added a range of new products and designs for the WildEarth shop. If you love being in nature, then we have a new range just for you. Our animal character line continues to grow, and this week we have incorporated a beautiful Tandy design to celebrate our favorite queen's life. April is Earth Day month, and investing in our planet is the message. And finally, there's a range just for our very own WildEarth explorers. Head over to our shop now and see what you can find.
Into the kill to get their fill in there as well. But they're also going to be told off. See, lions are not great at sharing their food. Okay, guys. Let me just taking frustration out on the other lion, but you see, it was interesting.
The unique thing in Djuma here, it's all about the characters that are within the property of Djuma and able to follow them and all know the information of all these species. And I don't want to forget the structured communication of the management of Djuma, from directors all the way down to the bottom. What made me choose Djuma, of course, is an involvement of the landowners in the entire community. Djuma play a very good role in the local communities. They have bursaries for children. They help schools building classes. They help community in general with water service, and also help people with delivery of food and clothes for the old people in the local communities. And I've been involved myself. Djuma involved me on this. I'm the eyewitness. I was one of the facilitators.
Just ask Liam, I'm sure he knows. Speaking of Liam, I think our lions are a little bit too sleepy at the moment, so I'm going to send you from very, very, very sleepy animals in the mist to some very active elephants in the mist.
Thank you very much to Tess. How fantastic is that? She's sat with those lovely lions. As she says, though, lions are famed for spending as much as 80% of their life fast asleep, with strict conservation of energy. Elephant are the polar opposite. Elephant will spend up to 80% of their lives marching around, pushing over trees, digging holes in search of roots, grazing on grass, picking fruit. Very, very, very busy animals. I think it's one of the reasons I like elephant so much. Periods of inactivity are extremely rare. Even sleep for elephants potentially only lasts 20 or 30 minutes at a time, admittedly broken into a few sessions during the day or perhaps the peak of night time. But as a general rule, throughout the day and throughout the night, elephant are highly active. It never stops. This morning they seem to be focusing in on these buffalo thorn plants, these little buffalo thorn trees, the leaves of which are highly palatable. Even to you and I, they sort of taste a little like spinach. Elephant can be quite a destructive force, as we can see from all this vegetation lying in the road there. Benny, good morning, and thanks for your question. Elephant calves are not born with teeth. They develop a set of milk teeth, complete even with milk tusks, much like a human baby. Obviously not with the milk tusks, but a set of baby teeth, which will be shed once they start to feed on vegetation. Elephant then proceed to go through 6 sets of teeth, so 5 more after baby teeth, and ultimately the longevity of those teeth predicts the life of that elephant. So elephant in areas where the vegetation is perhaps coarser, or there is more sand kind of accidentally taken in to their diet in places like the Namib Desert. I mentioned desert elephants a little earlier. Elephant will actually live quite significantly shorter, potentially even 20 years shorter. Life expectancy for a big bull in this area somewhere between 50 and about 65 years. In places like the Namib, maybe only 30 or 40 years of age. Now, ultimately, the teeth affect their ability to grind up vegetation like bark, leaves, roots, shoots, fruit. So once that final set of teeth, set number 6, is worn all the way down, polished literally like fine glass, that elephant's life will start to wrap up. It's not like it's gonna drop dead very, very suddenly, but kind of a gradual decline. A little bit like a human as well. Your immune system gets very worn down. It's quite likely that elephant will get sick and pass away.
My favorite thing about WildEarth are the animals and the interaction and the ability to wait and watch and not rush off. You get to watch their behavior and learn about the individuals. I would like to see the hyenas at the hyena den, and I have.
Look at that.
If I could be any animal, I would be a cheetah. I would love to run fast.
My heart rate has gone up slightly. In fact, it's gone up quite a lot. This elephant is now 2 meters from us. Okay, we might have to move here. No? Yes. Sorry, my friend, but you're about to push that onto the car. You see how cross he was that we didn't want to watch him push the tree over. That's why we moved.
My name is Tessa. I studied animals and insects, and I specialized in African vertebrate biodiversity. But first and foremost, I am a naturalist here at WildEarth. What inspired me to become a naturalist was a combination of a childhood love and passion for wildlife from our family holidays. It just became this amazing passion, and it ignited this fire that just would not go away. To me, the skills that a naturalist should have would be that passion, making sure that you know why you've got that passion and keeping it going no matter what. The determination to never give up, because it's not the easiest place to be, but I can tell you in my experience it's the best place to be with the biggest differences that you can make. If I could be any animal, I think I would be a leopard. To me, they're the perfect combination of elegance and power and determination and independence, and yet just so beautiful.
Over the past year, many WildEarth explorers have won life-changing travel prizes.
Today I was told I have won the most amazing prize to go to Maritaba. Oh, I can't believe it.
I am most excited to meet some of the guides.
The animals, the birds, and everything else it has to offer. We can't wait to go.
I would love to take my little grandson up with me on this experience to Funda.
WildEarth has brought so much to my life, and I am thrilled and grateful to have this opportunity.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to visit.
Thank you very much for this amazing prize, WildEarth.
Sign up to be an explorer today, and you will be entered into a monthly draw which could see you jetting off to a dream location in 2022. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature.
But I think that's him. I think that's the one I must. Okay, this is getting serious now. I knew there was going to be trouble. Too many bulls and must over one herd.
For me, my favorite animal's been a leopard since I was a little boy, and being able to actually photograph them out here in the wild has been a dream of mine ever since. So really, really happy to be back on Ngala, catch up with all the animals that, I've followed around for 8 years already. Watch them grow, watch them through their triumphs, their victories, their losses, mourn with them. It's been absolutely phenomenal. There's a big male leopard coming this way. I've been waiting for a sighting of the two of them like this together. She just, for me, is just one of the most pretty females out here. As you can see, we're sitting with the Duke of Djuma, Tingana, who is busy surveying his territory as the sun begins to set on another day in South Africa.
Myself and Sebastian were looking for the Birmingham Pride sub-adults, and we just found them stealing a hoisted baby impala carcass out of a tree. This is incredible. It's the first time I've seen one of these youngsters. Whoa! Quite a good chunk there. Nearly fell out doing it. She might fall backwards. She's actually lowering herself down the tree. It's the first time I've seen a lion do that in person.
With the traditional stories I've learned that it does have future and a past. If you follow it, you will never ever go wrong in life. It's very important because it contains, of course, history background and the knowledge of the bush. In every family they have so-called a tree or amarula tree. We'll go there and kneel down and talk to the tree and say, we want success in the family.
Hukamore. Oh, here's an impressive looking male leopard. Look at that neck on him. He just looks ready for a fight.
This is only the third time that we are seeing him that is known as the Hukamuri male, and he certainly has a lot of character and atmosphere.
This is gorgeous. Hukamuri having a drink at one of the little seasonal pans.
Isn't he absolutely gorgeous? Compact, powerful, focused.
At WildEarth, our explorers are treated to a weekly newsletter, bursting with fascinating features and never-seen-before snippets. Recently, we have added some brand new sections which we think you will love. Find out what happens behind the scenes with our crew when they are not live on WildEarth. Have a giggle at our moments of the week from both Safari and Penguin Beach. And Ranger Eric answers your questions with fascinating and in-depth explanations as to the whys and hows of nature.
Wild dogs coming out of the puppies coming out of the den site, making those very high-pitched noises.
All of this and more delivered to your inbox every week. So what are you waiting for? Head over to our website, sign up to be an explorer, and join the adventure. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. Some of the most lovable, impressive, and endangered creatures in the animal kingdom. WildEarth pays homage to our African penguins this World Penguin Day. Join us every day.
This is just incredible. I've never seen a rock monitor versus a leopard before. Now, unfortunately, this monitor does not stand a chance. Oh, look at this. This is super exciting. Did you see that? Did you see how it used its tail? And you can see this leopard has had enough now.
Look at that, there's a tiny, tiny leopard cub. Kruger has given birth overnight. Look at the little guy who just came around the corner. That is incredible, that's probably his first solo kill.
Oh, and have a look, here comes Osano with the monitor lizard.
Osano, of course, at the same time decided to go climbing up the tree. He's just nearly fallen out of it again.
Look at that, he's running away. The buffalo is chasing Osano at the moment. Run away from this very big animal coming. That was so funny.
WildEarth explorers have a chance to join our naturalists in a monthly Fireside Chat. This is a great way to learn more about our guides, animal characters, and wildlife locations. We would love to hear from you as to the topics that interest you the most. Email us your ideas or tweet using the hashtag WildEarth, and we will be sure to take them into account when planning our evenings around the fire in the future. WildEarth explorers, it's in your nature. Our Western Cape coastline is graced with the Cape fur seal. This playful species is curious and entertaining. At Hout Bay Seal Rescue Centre, seals in need are rescued, fed and nursed back to health by our well-trained team of dedicated staff and volunteers. This wonderful legacy of the centre is continued as these protected creatures are rehabilitated and released back into the wild.
We have got an epic battle going on between a pirate fly and a drop-tail ant. Look at that, look at that. So what's happening is these ants are moving from one side to another, and these pirate flies are trying to steal the baby ants.
The unique thing in Djuma here, it's all about the characters that are within the property of Djuma and able to follow them and all know the information of all these species. And I don't want to forget the structured communication of the management of Djuma, from directors all the way down to the bottom. What made me choose Djuma, of course, is an involvement of the landowners in the entire community. Djuma play a very good role in the local communities. They have bursaries for children. They help schools building classes. They help community in general with water service, and also help people with delivery of food and clothes for the old people in the local communities. And I've been involved myself. Djuma involved me on this. I'm the eyewitness. I was one of the facilitators.
My name is Amy Macmillan. I'm the owner and founder of Ellie and May and one of the directors of the Macmillan Conservation Fund. My brother Mike and I were incredibly close and both share a great passion for conservation, for wildlife, for nature, for elephants in particular. Tragically, Mike was killed in a car accident. It was through his passion and enthusiasm for conservation and for elephants that really prompted me to start Ellie and May. Ellie and May is a lifestyle apparel brand that contributes towards and raises awareness about elephant conservation. So a percentage of our sales of our caps and our products goes towards the Macmillan Conservation Fund. The aim of the Macmillan Conservation Fund is to support other conservation initiatives through anti-poaching, through the conservation of Africa's wildlife, community upliftment, development and education, and at the heart of it all, keeping Mike's legacy alive.
Find a way into the kill to eat, get their fill in there as well. But they're also going to be told off. See, lions are not great at sharing their food. Okay, guys. Let me just taking frustration out on the other lion, but you see, it was interesting.
In the woodlands of Djuma lives a lion pride with a taste for buffalo.
Look, 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 this is insane. Now, this is what I was saying about lions and buffalo. It's absolute pandemonium.
WildEarth have been privileged to follow the Nkuhuma pride for many years. One of the most loved cats in the pride is Amber Eyes. She was not successful in rearing her first 2 litter of cubs and was seen as an aunt to the other youngsters. Then eventually, towards the end of August 2019, we found her with 4 tiny cubs of
She just, for me, is just one of the most pretty females out here.
But look at those eyes. She's always got a look of fire to her, doesn't she?
There comes Tando. But look at that belly now. Earlier I was saying that she's looking like she's pregnant, but look at that tummy. It is definitely swelling, and I'm sure she is pregnant.
Tandy, you beauty, you've done so well. Here we go, everyone.
You're a good mom, I know that.
Tandy and her little cubs. There are big male baboons chasing her. Oh, there's one little cub. Run, little cub.
My heart rate has gone up slightly. In fact, it's gone up quite a lot. This elephant is now 2 meters from us. Okay, we might have to move here. No? Yes. Sorry, my friend, but you're about to push that onto the car. You see how cross he was that we didn't want to watch him push the tree over. That's why we moved.
For me, my favorite animal's been a leopard since I was a little boy, and being able to actually photograph them out here in the wild has been a dream of mine ever since. So really, really happy to be back on Ngala, catch up with all the animals that, you know, I've followed around for 8 years already. Watch them grow, watch them through their triumphs, their victories, their losses, mourn with them. It's been absolutely phenomenal.
For those of you who love an adventure, we have some exciting news. A few places have become available for our Djuma expeditions this year.
We're here for about 5 days and we're having the most amazing time.
Well, I must tell you, the stampede at the dam camp today was fantastic. We're having a fabulous time and it's really been magnificent so far. Thank you.
To come with somebody with Tristan's knowledge was just an extra bonus.
Hosted by some of our best WildEarth guides, these expeditions offer an intimate group experience where you can watch the Safari Live crew in action and enjoy nature at its best.
Africa is beautiful and has stolen my heart, and I hope to come back for many trips.
If you are interested, hurry over to our website for more details. WildEarth Expeditions. Travel with purpose.
But I think that's him. I think that's the one in must. Okay, this is getting serious now. I knew there was going to be trouble. Too many bulls and must over one herd.
With the traditional stories I've learned that it does have future and a past. If you follow it, you will never ever go wrong in life. It's very important because it contains, of course, history background and the knowledge of the bush. In every family they have so-called a tree or amarula tree. We'll go there and kneel down and talk to the tree and said, we want success in the family.
Myself and Sebastian were looking for the Birmingham Pride sub-adults, and we just found them stealing a hoisted baby impala carcass out of a tree. This is incredible. It's the first time I've seen one of these youngsters. Whoa! Quite a good chunk there. Nearly fell out doing it. She might fall backwards. She's actually lowering herself down the tree. It's the first time I've seen a lion do that in person.
Hello, my name is Byron Loebscher and I am a naturalist on the Penguin Beach Show based down at Stony Point in Betty's Bay. It is so awesome to be able to interact with viewers internationally, get to know people, answer questions and promote the conservation of this very special little species, the African penguin. My favorite types of questions to receive from viewers on the show are the more challenging questions. I really enjoy it when I don't know the answer to a question and I have to go back and research the answer and provide feedback to the viewer. I find that really, really awesome because we learn in the process. If you would like to ask me any questions, you need to register on the WildEarth website. Once registered, you can ask your questions under the live feed. Catch up with me on WildEarth Daily.